scare me. Oh boy.
Wow, that's 2 quick follows. Right, this is the Discord League World Cup group stages, and we're about to have a game between Netherlands and France. And we have France on Lion with Crane Splash. Some interesting stuff here. And we have Netherlands on Crane with Dragon Splash. Pretty standard Cute and Kakita Crane as far as I can tell. We will be joined by Action Johnny, who will help me cast this game. He will be joining shortly. I'm just gonna let the contestants know that I'm ready to go. So things to look out for here. The Lion is playing quite a few. He plays 3 Gunso, so he has a few Pride characters and also has Honor Generals. He needs those to activate both Noble Sacrifice and Voice of Honor. He also runs Mivaki Kabigard, which is, I think, it's a very poor 1-cost. But it's all to, again, have easy Noble Sacrifices and easy access to Voice of Honor. The problem is when you're facing Cute and Kakita Crane, who will probably have their entire board honored, then Voice of Honor can be very difficult to have online. Also worth noting is the Crane has 3 Ancient Masters, which will help with favor, so the 2 Censures might potentially be completely dead for the Lion player. Alright. Here we go. Just gonna check something quickly. We're fine. Okay, so we do see that a few mulligans from each player. 2 cards mulligan for Courteous, and 3 cards mulligan for Kita Sato, or Nelis as he's signed up for in Discord, and only 1 and 2 conflict cards. And the first buy from the Crane as first player is a 3-fated Toshimoko, and that will make Lion a bit sad. This basically means Lion is going to have trouble to win any sort of conflict. What is interesting though is that the Lion player have quite a number of cards that require on having either more honorable characters or being more honorable. So we might see the Lion do a sneaky 4 bid here. Exactly. Right, so the Lion player sneakily steals a little bit of honor here to keep ahead on being most honorable. Oh, and we see Majestate Station. First province attacked by the Lion player. Here, I mean, if the Lion player desperately needs to have a bunch of gas in his hand right now, because this province has to die. It simply has to die this turn. It cannot be allowed to be alive next turn. Ooh, of course we see a charge here for Matsutsuko. So we could potentially see quite expensive stuff here from the Lion player, because he is very much more honorable. Except we do see instantly the Dojo Duel Tetsuko, Honor Toshimoko, and Bao Tetsuko, so not ready for battle from the Lion player. Strength in numbers sends Kakita Toshimoko home, but of course the flipped favorable ground on Majesty Station just brings him back in again. And I think I kinda agree here with Amabunny. When the Crane player has the Majesty Station flip turn 1, it usually means jackpot, but we'll We will see. One thing to keep in mind here is that Tsuko is actually blanked by the Kakita Dojo here. So if he was counting on using the ability for any sort of extra pump, he cannot use it now. Also worth noting, since he actually did charge Tsuko, Legion of One is now offline. And it's not enough. It is not enough. He doesn't break Majesty Station. He doesn't have a Banzai. He doesn't have a Way of the Lion. Oh my. And Toshimoka just stands back up from Majesty Station. Oh, this is... I think we might have to call Peta on this one. The kittens. The kittens are going to get destroyed. Alright, so we do see a potential chance to get a little bit back in the game here. The Crane player finds Fertile Fields, so both Fate and a card is possible to gain here from... Ooh! And here we see something really interesting. He is dropping a Crone with a fan, so he is going to attempt to break this Majesty Station with a political snapback here. Does the Crane player has any sort of like... wait, formal invitation, is that fire roll only? It might be, I don't remember. Yeah, indeed, if the Lion player can actually manage to break this on political, we might have a game here. And it's smart here to go for the Water Ring as well, because that means favor. 1 ring plus 2 standing glory means favor, so that means Century is online next turn. I mean, just look at the hand size disparity right now. 4 to 9, and Majesty Station is flipped, and Honored Toshimoka with 3 Fate is just going to be a brutal thing unless it gets broken. Alright, so, okay, Formal Invitation is not roll-locked. That is a potential card that can get dropped. I think he runs it, actually. Yeah, 1 off Formal Invitation. That will be the biggest slap in the face to the Lion player. Oh, he doesn't have the formal invitation. Oh, alright, so here's some interesting thing. He doesn't have the formal invitation, so Toshimoka cannot defend. Majesty Station does break, and Uji gets discarded. I think the Lion player just has a little bit of a chance again. Also worth noting that the Crane player is down to 7 honor. Usually Crane has very easy time to just gain a bunch of honor anyway, but if we see a crazy 1 to 5 bid here, he's actually in the danger zone, I would say. Yeah, okay, so the chat is reminding us that the Crane probably should have passed the first conflict because the Lion player had 0 money, so he couldn't really do anything. And then the second conflict, he should have gone for any province, and it doesn't matter with Seeker of Air because the only money he's going to get from that is he's going to have to use it to defend that conflict. He doesn't have another conflict. So, a slight misplay here from the Crane, potentially costing him hugely because, you know, Majesty Station got broken. Yeah, greed. Greed is good, everyone. Greed is good. And there's nothing funny going on with bids. There's 5 to 5 bids for both players. And we do see Honor General attack in on finds Manicured Gardens under Kakita Dojo. I'm gonna see if Johnny is ready. Yes, he is. Welcome. Have you had a chance? Have you had a chance to look at what's going on? The board state.
I'm not even in the game. Who's playing?
It is if you look on Jigoki, it's Kakita Seto versus Courteous something. It's lion versus crane.
Do you have the password?
Yes. I'll. Okay, if people are that nosy, they might as well find it. It's World Cup.
World Cup, dope. World. Honestly, guys, if you're listening to this, you should watch the stream instead. Get Tenerim those sweet follows. You've got no business being the game anyway. That's our domain. So don't spectate. Just watch it on Twitch.
Fair enough.
As well, while you can.
And we do see some really cool play here by the Lion player. So he drops Master of the Spear with 1 fate and sends Toshimoka home. So Toshimoka can't stop the break.
Lovely. That is a great result. Was that on Magistrate Station?
Manicured
Garden.
Manicured Gardens, okay. Yeah. He did manage to break Magistrate Station last turn because of a slight misplay from the Crane player.
That is that's great news then, breaking Magistrate Station. So now you just have one of the 2 death provinces, and you're on the home free.
Yeah, pretty much. Here we see the Crane player perhaps worried a bit about his honor and also wants to get some economy going, so he goes for the air ring and finds Shameful Display.
Brash Samurai honors itself and then gets dishonored to equalize the scores, so still winning.
Yeah, I don't think the Lion player is gonna mind losing an air ring here. As long as the Shameful stays alive, I think he's completely fine with that. I'm a bunny is calling you out in chat, by the way, Johnny.
Wait, sorry?
I'm a bunny is calling you out in the chat.
Yeah, he likes to do that. Darren, you little French tickler, you. Oh. Eddie, for every time Darren called me out on chat. EAP by now.
Alright, do you attack here as a Lion player? With the Venerable Historian? That just basically gives a free break to Toshimoko onto the Shameful Display.
I 100% don't attack, because if you make him attack, he has to choose between breaking a province and losing favor. Right? I suppose at the minute he definitely is getting favor anyway, so he will just go back to Shameful. And that Shameful trigger has been used. No, I definitely just defend with the Venerable Historian here, and I use my action first. I have a court games.
Oh, alright, so this is really interesting. The Lion player really doesn't want to give up the favor, so he actually doesn't defend Shameful here and just passes. Because that way the Historian is still standing and is basically a mini palace.
It's also true.
I think that's a bold move. That's a bold move.
Maybe he's rooting on Ujiaki here, right? If he flips into Ujiaki, he's going to have a pretty good... I mean, that's probably maybe his only shot at breaking Pilgrimage at this point.
Potentially. I mean, he does also run 2 censures, and it is very possible that he's just looking to have those alive.
Yeah. Also true. He does take... he does lose Shameful.
And he
sorry.
He does play the Spirit Caller here, which I think is good because he has some really good targets. He has Tsuko, General, and Tutori in his discard pile, which is pretty much stellar. The Crane player, who sits on about 1 million fate, buys double Doji Challenger with 3 and 2 fate, and of course his first player, so he can just slap this Spirit Caller and Master of the Spear around if he wishes to.
That could actually be a game-winning dynasty buy for Crane. Double Challenger here is fucking rough for Lion.
Yeah, he can even do so he can use the Double Challenger to just do a dud conflict and then pull out one of the Challenger with a favorable ground as well afterwards, because both Master of the Spear and Spirit Caller to a degree. I mean, Master of the Spear only works while attacking, and Spirit Caller has to be standing, right? So if you force them into conflict, yes, that's precisely what you say here. Both Doji Challenger are attacking water, so he's gonna go for the triple. He's gonna pull in Spirit Caller and Master of the Spear, or in this case, he's just gonna pull in Spirit Caller, and then he's gonna attempt to bow the Venerable Historian with the Water Ring.
Yeah, and that, if you can break this province while pulling people in as well, that's a pretty big deal.
Oh, and we see a Gossip Blade. I am super interested what he's gonna name here. Alright, no charge.
Okay, so he doesn't want that Matsu Biona coming in for 2 fate. Interesting character, Matsu Biona. You don't really see her a lot anymore.
It's not even gonna be for 2 fate. He doesn't have enough Bushi on the table.
Can get one though with Spirit Caller, so he could Spirit Caller then charge.
All right, yeah, okay, that's true.
Yeah, Matsu Biona.
Right, so Honor General comes in, basically turning off voice by doing that because he's one honor to one honor character.
Only for this conflict, worth noting.
Yeah, only for this conflict, but I mean he does have. He also presents a pretty large defense here. So as of this moment, he doesn't even have to use the Ready for Battle to prevent the Historian from bowing. And we do see one of the Doji Challenger getting pulled out by the favorable ground, as you perhaps would expect. Actually, I'm going to make this board slightly larger. There we go.
He doesn't win the Water Ring, but that he's attacking with is essentially fucking useless.
Yeah, he basically bowed out the entirety of the Lions board.
So that's a good hit though, hitting the.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a decent hit, but it also means the free challenger honored now, which I guess is okay.
I mean, like, it's decent in the sense that it's the worst thing that happened. Like, it makes the Shameful Display slightly less bad. But at this point, he's got Shameful Display and Pilgrimage to attack into. The Crane Row is just grotesque at the minute. It's just like what the old Scorpion Row used to be like.
I don't actually mind Pilgrimage that much.
But Pilgrimage is a pain in the ass because Crane can defend it really well. It's very hard to outstack Crane when they don't want you to.
While that's true, I also feel that Pilgrimage is sort of like it's definitely the least bad province often to hit. I mean, you don't get the ring effect, but if you go, it's also really awkward doing attacks against Pilgrimage, because you can end up in a situation where you don't really want to defend because the incoming character is just like poking and you only have big characters to defend with, but then you're really vulnerable to a sneaky Banzai or like a conflict drop and a fan or whatever. So sometimes I think Pilgrimage is awkward to have in the row. I mean, obviously it's like 9 out of 10 times is still really, really good, but it can present opportunities to mess with your opponent, in a sense. I've found.
Yeah, fair.
I mean,
break here, I think. There's nothing stopping.
I mean, this 4 fates, so there could be stuff, but I wouldn't count on it. In fact, I'd probably not be too surprised if we did see a Anakatsu perhaps getting dropped here. Nope, just a sneak.
Just a Goblin Sneak, but that might do it. Legion of One Goblin Sneak might be enough here.
Yeah, he has to.
It'll depend how many Voice of Honors compared to Censures are in the hand.
I mean, yeah, I mean, the hand disparity is massive at this point. Yeah. Absolutely bloody massive. It's 17 to 6.
Okay. Very little chance that this conflict is actually going to go through. We'll probably see a Banzai GS right back again.
Banzai versus Banzai. And yeah, okay, so Banzai is still resolving for the defender. Are we going to see a Legion of 1? Nope, no Legion of 1. And Crane is also in a situation here where he kind of happily is trading card for card, like equal card to equal card just to win a conflict is pretty much just gravy for him because he has a decent board and he has such a massive hand advantage that if he can get exactly the same effect for every card he plays as every card the Lion player plays, he's just getting further ahead.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, so we do see Uji getting bought here for the Crane player. It's not too surprising. That means he has a free Doji Whisperer and he can buy Toshimoko with 3 Fate if he should so wish.
We also 100% know that Uji is getting honored from the 16 cards in hand.
Oh yeah. There's no way. I mean, even if the Lion player double censures something like Way of the Crane and then double censures Way of the Crane, I'd be super surprised if that Uji isn't just instantly honored, because both players bid 5 again, and it's now 10 to 21 cards in hand.
It's a huge discrepancy. It's going to be very... I mean, Lion could... think you can outstat here. To be honest, like, you can Spirit Caller Totori, you can Spirit Caller Bayo, Tsuko maybe?
I mean, here's the problem, though. The Crane player is on Stronghold.
Yeah, no, that's true. So an attack here, he's just going to let go by. You can attack with both your military dashes, since he's probably going to go political here.
I think the Lion runs Ancestral on the Stronghold. I'm just gonna quickly take a peek, and yeah, he does run Ancestral Land, so that's the Stronghold province from the Lion. So I don't think I'm not entirely sure the Crane can crack that politically with what he has on board. Maybe if he has 2 more fans. Actually, maybe he doesn't even need 2 more fans. Maybe he just needs the court games or something. Yeah, he can just buy the Whisper for... Okay, yeah, he might just go political. Do you even defend this as the Crane player? Or do you just buy...
I don't think you care. I think you just let it go, and then you just smash his Stronghold political here, right? There's no way... whatever his name is, Uji.
Yeah, I'm looking at what the
Lion cards, and the ability to buy like 3 Whisperers and Toshimoko and shit. There's no way. I don't think you care about. Like, he does defend though. He's being cautious.
Yeah.
Spear. There we go. Oh, cool, and it's a Kitsu Spirit Caller as well.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. So Master of the Spear gets Spirit Call back in. That's an interaction that not many people know of, that Spirit Caller can call from any discard pile on your own side. It usually ends up when you do this in paper, people go like, oh, wait, can I read Spirit Caller again? And then they read it and go like, oh, shit. And here we see Uji sent out, and the response to this is Uji getting honored, so I imagine we're probably going to see a Toshimoko buy here.
I'd say that's a relatively safe bet there, buddy.
Yep.
Of course, there is no second Master of the Spear in the discard pile.
Nope, there's just a single one in his list as well, so he cannot have another one.
He's winning, but he's on pilgrimage, so sadly not doing anything.
Oh, I'm actually gonna make...
Totori.
I'm gonna make the board slightly smaller again, because now we have so many characters.
I just don't think you care about this if you're Crane. I'm just like, yeah, cool. You now have 0 political for Strongholds, and yeah, he doesn't care. He's gonna do that Kakita thingy and...
Oh yeah, because the dojo is actually gonna give him to prevent the break because of the honoring effect.
Yeah,
No. He doesn't. He doesn't even need to beat 5. The interrupt from Toshimoko happens before you actually check if it breaks. So what happens is he honors via stronghold, and because he's now only up by 4 instead of being up by 6, he doesn't break.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. We see a 1 bid from the crane to a 5 bid there. Yeah, this looks like it's game over for Lion at this point.
Yeah, I think he has enough political on board to just break stronghold.
Yeah, I think this goose is proverbially cooked.
Yeah, that's also a interaction that people go like, oh wait, shit, all right, that's not good. So it's one of those odd effects that you have to sort of know about. You were only up by so much, and now the honored Toshimoko happened before the break, so now you're not breaking anymore. And the thing with the 5 to 1 bit is also now the Lion player isn't even more honorable, so stuff like Suko and Venerable Historian is turned off. He goes in with 14 political skill. And we see a soul beyond reproach on the Spirit Caller, which is odd. Is it just I play cards to not die? Yeah, okay, it looks perhaps like that's the case.
Yeah, he's dead. And that's a game. That's another game right there. It looked like it was pretty under wraps at this point, but...
Yeah, unfortunately the Lion didn't quite manage to break fast enough against the crane shenanigans. They were basically both racing at as weird as it sounds. The way it almost turned into a race pretty early on, but the crane player won out by having just a more solid board of big, strong, honored characters. And
the way Crane is playing currently really reminds me a lot of Crab. I know like the actual faction mechanics are very different, but the whole like defend, buy another big guy, defend. You know, it's kind of like doing the whole boarding out, like inevitability thing.
And I think like Lion without the new Lion cards is super disadvantaged against this type of Toshimoko, Uji, Kakita, Kyuden Kakita Crane. It's almost as if you just barely have a chance.
Yeah, I mean, Toshimoko is one of the most insidious characters in the game because it basically says when you win, you don't win. Lion Pack, they're going to struggle with that if they can't defeat. So Toshimoko with 2 katanas and a banzai is 10. Sorry, honored. So Toshimoko 2 katanas honored is 10 military, and with the banzai is 14.
Nope. Yeah. Okay, so 2 katais honored, that's 10. With a banzai, 14. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So you need to be able to get past that by a significant margin on one character just to stand a chance of winning the duel.
Yep.
You can't do that. You just can't win against Toshimoko.
Pretty much.
And if you get Magistrate Station going, then you're like super fucked. So, yeah, I don't know, man. He's definitely the card, in my opinion, that's really like bumped Crane up a couple of power levels. Like, I get Uji's really strong, but Uji's also expensive, and you know, well, if you just play him early as well, when he's like kind of your only guy in play, this is for sure. He's super pushed, but he's expensive. Takamori also very good, so they're newer cards. But for me, it's Toshimoko, which is the real problem character of that deck.
Yeah, Toshimoko is a nightmare for Lion that usually has a pretty good military force, but it's also usually kind of spread out a bit between stuff like Berserkers. And usually there's a big tutorial, and to be honest, a tutorial with Way of the Lion is usually enough to, you know, bonk a Toshimoko on the head, but you can't do that in every conflict all the time.
can't. Like, and even then, like describing the situation we just did, you need Totori and Wear the Line and something else to overcome Toshimoko. So yeah, it's still not easy. It's not easy for anyone. Like, military clans really suffer versus Crane. You know, up until recently, their strength was always, but now it seems to have shifted gears into this much more mid-rangey, slow, military-focused deck.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm getting told by chat that there's another game coming up if you're up for it. It's Spain versus Hungapore, Crane versus Lion again.
Oh, sick. Cut me open, Tenerim, and I'll bleed L5R streaming games. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna cut this stream then, and we're gonna update the title, and we're gonna make sure we get into that game. I'll see you guys in a second.